Municipal World. We're in beautiful Quebec City this week, and joining me in the Municipal World Media Center is Zoran Postic from the City of Vaughan. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan.
Why don't you tell people your position?
So I'm the Deputy City Manager of Public Works for the City of Vaughan, where I'm responsible for leading 300 men and women that are full-time and about 110 seasonal staff and about 120 part-time staff.
So a big team,
Yeah.
and that team has done some award-winning work recently, including an award from the Association of Municipalities of Ontario last year.
Yeah, and that actually was a big award. It was the Peter J. Marshall Award for Municipal Innovation on Contract. So a few years ago, we had this idea that we wanted to have a long-term performance-based winter maintenance contract. And so we worked with a number of different agencies, pulled together this contract, and after 2 years of having this contract in place, we reduced our complaints by 60%. So the citizen experience went up. From an operational standpoint, we're saving upwards of $300,000 per year. So over the life of the contract, you could be saving up to $3 million. So it hit on those two pieces. So making sure we enhance citizen experience, we're lowering our costs around operational performance. But this is when I had this aha moment where this was sort of a top-down type of an initiative, and we really never engaged our staff, which is an important piece to make sure we hit on our service excellence initiatives. And our mission statement at Vaughan is citizens first through service excellence. So proud of the contract. A lot of people put in a lot of effort, both past employees and present. So the contract was built over a number of years.
Okay, so you had your aha moments, and that fed into something else.
Yeah, so I started thinking, okay, we're talking about this contract, we're out there boasting about it, and we're all proud of it. And what I wanted to say is our mayor is very progressive, Ritsu Babalakwa, and he was very supportive of taking the organization, the city, down to something they hadn't done before, as well as the rest of our council. But what I realized when we were talking about it is our staff were like, you never asked us. And that's where we had this idea of, maybe there's an opportunity to do kind of like a Dragon's Den style type of an event, where we're going to ask staff to bring forward ideas in a safe environment where we provide them with opportunities to prepare presentations however they wanted to do them. We also wanted to make sure that if we're going to ask for their ideas on how we were going to improve citizen experience or reduce costs, that they knew that, this was what our budget was, this is when we were going to make a decision, and then we were going to try to implement all these ideas. So it was really important to say, this is what we're going to do with your ideas. And that led to what started as a program called Vaughan Inventors. And it started in our Transportation Services, Parks and Forestry Operations Department, which then went on to Public Works. And now it's a corporate initiative, and it's evolved and it continues to grow and get better. And that's called Vaughan Innovators.
Wow, that's fantastic. So I'm sure that's had the effect of certainly building trust with employees. They know what the process is going to be. They know how their input is going to be used. What sort of other outcomes have there been?
Yeah, so what's really important is that, people want to know, how does what I do, how does it fit into the big picture?
Right.
So we're always talking about, we have a brand new strategy map on all these things that we need to deliver over the term of council. So staff are obviously a very important part of making sure that we deliver on these things. And as for this event, the original intent of this was to just bring forward staff, to your point about trust, is to get them in an environment to bring forward their ideas. And the original goal was to get 3 teams. That's what we wanted, just 3 teams from 3 different parts of the Transportation Services, Parks and Forestry Operations Department. We ended up getting 12 teams, almost 50 participants. Wow. And what you have to keep in mind is these are people that, their office is a park, or it's a community center, or it's being in a snowplow or a sidewalk plow. Their office isn't sitting at City Hall, so they don't naturally get up and present. So what was amazing for me is they poured their hearts out and came forward with their ideas. So just the fact, whether there was a great idea or not a great idea, whether we implemented it or not, that didn't matter to me.
It's a huge step, crossing that threshold, right?
Yeah, it was about building trust with them and showing that we truly do care about them. And at the same time, we have to perform. We always need to be rethinking what we do and how we do it, because we have a 3% tax limit in the city. And we have to make sure that we're always being able to deliver on all the services our citizens expect and our council wants us to deliver on. So yeah, it led to trust. It was a fun environment. A lot of people really enjoyed it, and it's gained a lot of momentum. Like I said, now it's gone across the entire city, and it continues to evolve and change and grow, which is great.
So what kinds of innovations are coming out of this for the city?
So the first one was a wheelbarrow that helped with mulching. So it was a design that was created that saved you time, and it was actually a really, really a great idea. During the second event, we had something that was going to help our crossing guards, which was sort of a red flag. So when kids were crossing, it added the safety enhancement. And there have been a bunch of other ideas that have come forward. And there have been winning ideas and ideas that didn't necessarily win. I know that we were looking at, we put a cap on the back of all of our sidewalk plows for salt. Although it didn't win, we still thought, you know what, it still might provide or it might be applicable to some of the things that we've done. I want to say there were over 30 ideas that we had, and we tried to implement pretty much all of them. So a lot of success with the program.
That's fantastic. And sometimes, as you said, the every idea may not be a winner in and of itself, but it could spark innovation or thinking along the lines of what could work, what could we change. Right?
Yeah, and I think what's really important is that going back to my aha moment, it's making sure that we're asking people what they think, and the people that are out there doing the work every single day, they have good ideas, but it's about getting them to bring those forward. Yeah. And again, it's in a safe environment where we're going to support them, and so we're going to continue to do that because if you take a look at what service excellence means, if we don't care about our staff, they're not going to care about our citizens. They'll come in and they'll exchange time for money. So we really got to get them to understand that what we're there to do, the purpose of our jobs is to serve our citizens. And the same thing is we always need to be recreating ourselves and rethinking how we do our business. There are all these things that are pushing on our business, from technology, citizen expectations. I talked about the financial environment. The industry always has a new mousetrap they're trying to sell us. There are best practices that are being, so we need to make sure that we're engaging our staff and we're thinking about this stuff and bringing it forward in a safe environment, and we'll continue to do that. And so it's fun place to be, and we're going to keep doing that.
And it sounds like that makes it a great place to work.
It is, and for me personally, when I see people put themselves out there and pour themselves out with their ideas, that to me, that is important for me because it shows that they're growing, it shows that they trust us, it shows that they're learning, they're sharing their ideas, and we want to keep that going. So when I see that, it's not so much about the idea, there are great ideas, it's about seeing people grow and put themselves out there. And that to me is the piece about building trust, which is really, really important if we're going to have an organization that's going to deliver on the things that we need to.
And I think any organization, it doesn't matter, where you are, what department, the whole organization benefits when people can bring their whole selves to work and their ideas and trust that it's a safe space to do that and bring their best.
Absolutely. There was this guy, I don't know if you've ever heard of him, his name's Theodore Roosevelt. And he said something along the lines of people don't care about how much you know, they don't care about your title, your position, they don't care about any of that until they know about how much you truly care about them.
Yeah.
And in public works, we have a why statement that basically says we believe in fostering a community where people can have a better tomorrow. And investing in people and making sure that we truly care about them and we invest in them and that they understand that we do need to perform and we have to serve our community is where we're going. And we're going to keep doing that through things like Vaughan Innovators and other types of things that we do across the city.
And it starts at the staff level inside the organization, and that's the spirit that extends out into the community, that same kind of caring.
Absolutely. That's where it has to start. And my job is, with that many staff that we have, I need to make sure that every single opportunity that I have, that I do show that I care. And it's not just by an email, it's not by something you post on a wall, it's a conversation every single day.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing that story. I appreciate it. And congratulations to the City of Vaughan on
Thank you very, very much, Susan. I appreciate that.